Hello, YouTube. Long time no see on this channel. I know I've been very sporadic over on this channel, but I'm going to try my best to be more frequent this year, especially since I'm finally going to get back into doing aesthetics. And I keep saying this year after year, but we're going to finally start doing some demonstration videos on this channel as far as, my aesthetic services. However, in the meantime, in between time, I do got an ordinary package reveal to show y'all. So this is my package. It came yesterday, and my other Amazon orders came today, but that's for a whole different video. But this is the package that it came in. I want to give my first impressions. And even though I've tried a couple products from them before, it was gifted to me. So this is my first time ever purchasing the ordinary. So first thoughts on the shipping and stuff, very fast, especially after I've heard several complaints about it taking, a long time to get to people. But I guess it's, they ship from Toronto. And don't get me started on where Toronto geographically is on the map, but I think it is a straight shoot from New York. And since I'm on the East Coast, it didn't take no time for me to get my package. I got it on the 10th, but I placed my order on, I want to say the 6th. So the 5th or the 6th. Let me check the calendar real quick. I want to say, yeah, it was the 6th, and then I got it on the 10th. So put in that Wednesday. So that's 1, 2, 3, literally 4 shipping days, which is actually quite for now. I know certain places in the United States I can't even get my package that fast. Like if I matter of fact, that was about the same time frame that I would get it from Florida. Like my image ships from Florida, Image Skincare, and it comes to me within 4 days. So the fact that it came from Canada down here shows about the distance about the same. But once again, we all on the same coast. So like Florida going straight up to North Carolina, Canada going straight down to North Carolina. It goes through New York, Arkansas, and then coming to North Carolina. I think that's how I do it. Or it usually comes through New York, South Carolina, and then through, but then sometimes through Tennessee. So it bumps around in that tri-state area. And it come through Tennessee, Arkansas, um, Georgia, South Carolina, like a neighboring state. Virginia also is another one where I tend to get orders that come through first and then come into North Carolina. But from Canada, it went through New York, and then I think it also hit Arkansas. I don't know where Arkansas is at compared to North Carolina, but I imagine it's nearby because then the next location was it went straight from Arkansas straight to North Carolina. So I didn't even take the time to look at the map, but that's how it went. So unboxing it now. Now, if you're on the West Coast, it might take you a little bit longer. I have heard one person say that it took them like 4 weeks to get their shipping. Now, I know that she lives in Canada. I mean, not Canada, but she lives in Mexico. So I don't know if it had something to do with the customs from the United States to Mexico. But I also heard some people near California also had like a 2 week wait time as well. So if you out there, just be wary. But North Carolina, from what I've experienced, you only have to wait 4 days. Ooh, definitely make sure it's darn on tight. So I won't be doing no demonstrations in this video. This is just a quick, first impressions of how the packaging is, the shipping, customer service. I got an email the same day that my order was purchased. And then from there, but they did not send me they give you a tracking number on all of that, but they don't give you live tracking. Okay, so this is what the inside packaging look like. Well, of course they give you tracking, but like it's not like Amazon where it pings a notification to your email like, okay, now your shipping is in this location. No, it's like you literally got to click on it, and I think it redirects you to UPS tracking with the ordinary versus with Amazon. Amazon, you can have it set up where they can give you actual notifications of every single spot that your order is at. Like if it's traveling from state to state, they would literally give you a notification at every time that it's being scanned to another location. But most people ain't worried about that, especially if it's still coming within 4 days. But here, what it looks like inside, so no bubble wrap or anything. But I can appreciate that because it's like I do try to reduce the carbon footprint, and if they can still package it in a way where the products are safe without, all the extra stuff that's not necessarily biodegradable, I'm actually for that. So I'm not, I don't consider that a downside that they don't have, plastic, especially if they don't have the biodegradable kind. It's amazing what you can do nowadays. Like you can turn coconuts into bricks. Like who knew? I know this is so random, but packaging really matters as well. So the fact that this is how it is, I actually appreciate this. That it came with, regular plastic bags as opposed to, the bubble wrap, which is hard to break down. So I give them a thumbs up for that as far as reducing the carbon footprint. Because like I said, we haven't gotten that far where they have a biodegradable, plastic wrapping. But they do have it where you have the biodegradable straws. So, we don't have to worry about our turtles and stuff. Yeah, don't judge me. I don't think this fits just yet. But, I'm a work in progress. But I think they do have it with straws in the industry. And then they banning them out of the restaurants and all of that. Also, like I said, I've seen in Africa where you can have bricks literally made out of coconuts and all of that. And so we're coming a long way. But back to the main topic at hand. See, I done went on to a natural darn tangent. But it does somewhat in line with this company, natural skincare, breaking it down to the direct molecular molecule. What I love about The Ordinary is they don't do all that filler. They go straight to the ingredients. They give you the descriptions of all said ingredients on the website. Pretty much straight, simple to the point, and extremely affordable. They match some of the highest end brands like, Drunk Elephant, even some Aesthetician darn on base brands, which I will be comparing in future videos to see how these match up to professional counterparts. And I'll give my professional opinion on that. But for the price point, honey, it's unheard of. Like the Drunk Elephant starts at now not all of them are going to compete with that, and nor is they going to compete with Image or Sarcadia. Not all of them, but enough of them do well enough where it's quite impressive. Like I said, certain products only like $6-7, but you go somewhere else to get it and it's like $40-50. But in certain cases, the Ordinary actually outperforms the product that's $50. You can't beat it. So in total, I got 6 items, and we're going to go over them and the prices. So the first thing that is on my list is, oh shoot, they don't show the prices. Crap. But I know enough of the prices off the top of my head. So this is the, ooh, and I'm Southern, y'all, so excuse me if I fuck this name up, but Panathical 5%. All of them come in these types of packaging, so that doesn't help. But once again, this is Panathical, which is an antioxidant. Apply alone or after water-based serums, before oils or heavy creams. Alternatively, mixed with other treatments to enhance their antioxidant capacity. Specifically, if irritation occurs, cease use and all of that. And another thing to note, these products look like all of them have a 6-month shelf life as opposed to the standard 12 months. So once again, it's a good thing to pay attention to your packaging. On the actual packaging, it notes that it's a 6-month shelf life versus like if you get Image skincare with their pills, it's a 12-month shelf life from when you open it. So once again, the importance of paying attention to not only your ingredients list, but pay attention to your packaging. So once again, this is the Panacol 5%. Like I said, I'm Southern. And I cannot hardly pronounce my R, so excuse me if I messed that up. And of course, it also has it on the bottle as well. So if you throw this away, you don't have to keep this. Everything is actually on the bottle. That's a plus as well. So of course, it's in this dark brown color to protect it from direct light. Now, of course, I store this in my closet anyway. A cool, dry place. But if you happen to have it out somewhere on a shelf that is exposed to sunlight, this dark glass container is the best option to go because the light is less susceptible to get into it. Also, glass is not, you don't have to worry about any BPA from plastic or anything of that sort leaking and contaminating the authenticity of your ingredients, whether it's hyaluronic acid or antioxidants or chemical pills, whatever is in your bottle. So once again, you always want to have something like this. And the fact that they include this at such a cheap price point, because this cost me like, I want to say this was like $8 versus, usually something this cheap would be in a plastic. Like when you go to Walmart and get tea tree oil or argan oil at $3, $4, $5, $6, usually is in a bright clear plastic. It'll be something like Hollywood's Best, but it's not nowhere near Best. And then it's so diluted. You look at the ingredients at Hollywood's Best, you think you buying tea tree oil and argan oil, and the first thing on the ingredients list is soybean oil, which accounts for like 98% of the total of what you're getting. You're only getting like 2% of the darn on tea tree oil, and 98% of what you purchase for $3 is mere soybean oil. You might as well go to your kitchen and slap some darn on vegetable oil on your face because basically that's the same thing. Vegetable oil and soybean oil is the exact same thing, but it is marketed different towards you depending on what you're using it for. If you look at your ingredients list, if you look at vegetable oil and you go and look at soybean oil, both of them will say soybean oil on the back of the ingredients list. But when you're cooking, they just labeled it as vegetable oil, but it's not a blend of vegetables. It's just it's soybean. A common misnomer for people. When people think of vegetable oil, some people who do not pay attention to ingredients, you're looking at the images, you're thinking that, oh, it's a blend of different types of vegetable oils. You got carrot oil, you got olive oil, and all of that in there. No, you just got soybean oil. And then when you go to your products like Hollywood's Best, and you're taking at face value because they got it these big letters saying that it's tea tree oil and argan oil, but the first ingredient, if it does not contain that as the first ingredient, pretty much they diluted it. It's soybean oil, and then your oil that you thought you was getting the majority of is only about 2%. The ordinary don't do that, so they give you a majority of what you're asking for. If they telling you that they're selling you this type of oil, this is what you're getting, and the ingredients is clear as day. Once again, another plus for them. Like I said earlier about hyaluronic acid, I also got me some of that as well. I got the hyaluronic acid 2% with vitamin B5. Contrary to the name, is also somewhat of a misnomer because when we think of acids, people tend to think of exfoliants. You think of something that is increasing cell turnover within the skin. But hyaluronic acid, contrary to its name, is actually a hydrator and not a exfoliator. Once again, hyaluronic acid is a hydrator and not an exfoliant. It can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in moisture, which thus increases moisture retention in the skin, which is good for somebody like me who is combination, but has eczema prone skin. So y'all know my skin, my acid mantle is compromised due to my skin condition. So something like hyaluronic acid, which comes in this bottle right here. So a clear bottle, but once again, with hyaluronic acid, it doesn't break down like antioxidants, vitamin C, and stuff like that. So you don't have to be wary of it coming in a clear bottle because once again, this is a hydrator. This is not a chemical exfoliant that will be prone to sensitivity within lights. It's not an antioxidant. It is not something. Now, although you're also with antioxidants, vitamin C is an antioxidant as well and can become highly unstable when it's exposed to light. So if this was a vitamin C container, I would be irritated with it being clear. But since this is a hydrator and not an exfoliant nor an antioxidant, it's okay for it to be in this clear bottle. Once again, this is also glass because we don't want nothing to be possibly contaminated with plastic. It also has the ingredients on the back. Oh, wait a minute. I might have spoke too soon about the shelf life. Okay, so I lied. Not all of them have 6 month shelf life. This is actually a 12-month shelf life upon opening. Okay, focus. Oh, why is my camera not focusing, y'all? Okay, we back. I lied. I said earlier that these products have a 6 month shelf life, but this one actually has a 12-month shelf life. So you have a whole year from when you open this up. And this cost me like $6. Everything on that I gotten, the most expensive thing I would say only cost me like $13. I don't know which one was it. Unfortunately, I think it might have been the marula. Oh, I think it might have been the marula oil that I got. I don't know. Matter of fact, I will leave all the prices in the description box at the end of this video. I don't know it off the top of my head, but everything will be in the description box below. Excuse me, but I got to get me a drink real quick. This weather is irritating me. Another thing is I'm surprised my eczema is not flaring up. My capillary pilaris is though with this darn rapid change of weather. It is extremely hot today. I am in North Carolina and it's like 75 degrees. I had to turn on my AC. But a couple days ago it was literally like 40 degrees. I can't stand this shit. And then next month it be liable to snow. Only in North Carolina where it can be darn on hot in February and then be ready to snow by March or April. Had to drink me a little bit of Figo, y'all. But anyways, back to my first impressions. The next is the marula oil. Like I said, this is the most expensive. I think this is the one that cost me $13. So high luxury. Once again, I told y'all I can't pronounce what damn. Don't y'all make fun of me in the comment section. But a high grade luxury darn oil that is good for moisturizing the skin. And of course, oh, this is a darker container, but I don't know if it's the oil content. Oh yeah, I think it's the oil. I'm about to say it has a greenish tone to it as opposed to the other one. Like this one is dark. Yeah, it's actually the oil in here. You can actually see the color of the oil really through this darn brown thing. So I can't wait to give it a thought on this because it actually makes the brownness of the bottle look a little bit different. Now, of course, on camera I'm seeing that it looks brown to y'all, but to the naked eye, looking at it, it actually gives a greenish tint to it. Very interesting. Y'all know it's the Capricorn in me. I pay attention to little doggone sugar, sugar honey iced tea stuff like that. But this is what the marula oil looks like. Once again, y'all don't make fun of me. I'm telling y'all, I can't pronounce my R's to save my life. Little doggone horrific fact about me: I inadvertently almost got struck by lightning when I was about 6 years old, and ever since then, that electricity always effed up my R's. It's like I'm already a southern girl at that, but the doggone, nearly getting electrocuted to death, true story. I never was able to pronounce. As a matter of fact, it took me the longest to even pronounce R's somewhat correctly. Like, even if you had a name that started with R, I couldn't pronounce it for the longest. I actually had to undergo speech therapy and everything behind that incident. If y'all want to know more stuff about my personal life, go to my vlog channel. If y'all think me nearly getting killed by lightning is a story to be told, honey, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But back to the skincare videos. The next oil that I have to show with y'all is Moroccan argan oil. I love argan oil. Argan oil calms down my eczema like nobody's business. Matter of fact, this was something that I gotten years ago, so I wonder if it's still the same packaging. Yep, same packaging that I got a few years ago. Another one that I love is from the Makeup Artist Choice. I tried theirs. Now theirs come in a blue, and I don't think I have it, but theirs come in a dark blue bottle. This one comes in a brown one. Either one will suffice as long as it's a dark color where it doesn't allow light in. Don't go to Hollywood's Best and get that darn on $3 one with the darn on plastic that's diluted with soybean oil. Make sure you're getting the legitimate one. Also, making sure I love the droppers, because you don't have to worry about cross contamination versus if you're dipping in, like you shouldn't be dipping in with any type of oil. Also, like with the flip tops and stuff, it makes it more prone, for cross contamination and stuff. Versus if you take this off and actually pose a dropper, it makes it less susceptible for you to, cross contaminate products. So I love that their products come with a dripper, as opposed to like the flip top of some of your other cheaper based products within this price point. Like I said, for this to be like $7, $8, everything is like between $6 to $10. The most expensive thing that I got was like $13. But this was like $10 or less, and for it to be in this type of bottle, once again, you cannot beat it for the price point. Although argan oil is not necessarily the most expensive, anyways. Let me see the fluid ounces that I get with this one. Let me see. Okay, so this is 1 fluid ounce, which is about, that's just about right, because 4 ounces would be like at a $30 price point. Yeah, so this is about the average price point for argan oil. Although I'd like to see how this one actually compares to the Makeup Artist Choice, because the Makeup Artist Choice one actually was was legitimately cold pressed and did wonders for my skin and my hair. Also works wonder for atopical dermatitis on the scalp as well. For y'all that don't know, atopical dermatitis is the form of eczema. And there's actually about 8 different forms of eczema in all. So if you have eczema, share down below in the description box which type that you have if you're familiar with it. If you're not familiar with which type of eczema you might have, describe it and I'll be able to properly tell you the actual name of the type of eczema that you have. But as far as the atopical dermatitis on the scalp, which some people, call the dandruff, this actually helps out with that as well. Also, my porosity level loves it as well. I have low porosity hair, and it's one of the few oils that actually agrees with my hair. Coconut oil don't really do it for me. Olive oil too heavy, castor oil too thick because I have thinner strands of hair as it is, and then my hair has gotten balding over the years. So castor oil is not really my best friend. I love why can't I'm having a block, but not castor oil, the oil that everybody raves about. Why can't I think about it? And I have a whole thing of it. Like, let me get it. I don't know why I can't think of what the name is. Black seed oil. That's what I was thinking, y'all. Black seed oil, my hair loves it, although it hasn't done nothing for me. When this paycheck comes, I'm going to invest in a very well-known hair revitalizing system, and I'll be back to give my first impressions on that. And I'm going to walk y'all through with my hair journey in regards to that product. But I will be using the argan oil in addition to that hair care line. Now, going on from that is my favorite type of acid and my number one recommendation for black skin. Just in case y'all don't know what my specialty is, I really specialize in color correction within melanated skin. I believe that we are able to have even darn on melanated skin tone without compromising the acid mantle and without, ruining the integrity of the amount of melanin that is blessed within dark skin. As y'all can tell, I am about between Taraji P. Henson and granted that I don't have the best lighting condition, but for y'all that see me under true lighting condition, which once again, more videos of me outside and stuff is on my vlog channel. I am between Taraji P. Henson and Gabrielle Union's complexion. So a very dark, brown skin with very, noticeable neutral golden undertones. So I'm not as deeply melanated as somebody like Viola Davis or Lupita Nyong'o, and I'm not as bright as somebody like Beyonce, but still very deeply rich. And when we get down to us, we're in the Fitzpatrick 5 category, very prone to darkening without burning. However, we are more susceptible to hyperpigmentation because with the amount of melanin that we're blessed with, sometimes when we get, if we fall down and we get a scar or, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, melasma, with pregnant women, your belly darken, your buttocks, your around your mouth area. Also, if you shave, all of those types of triggers. That's why your underarms tend to be darker. Your inner thighs. If you got a thick thighs, the chafing. All of those factors can induce an over amount of melanin synthesis, and melanin synthesis is what gives our skin melanin. But when you are Fitzpatrick 4 and darker, we can overproduce melanin and create more melanin than our natural skin tone in certain areas. So when we heal up, we tend to be 4 to 5 shades darker than our true skin tone. And then you feel some type of way about trying to lighten it because of the stigma about skin bleaching. And then, even if you're only trying to use it on those darkened areas, sometimes you're going towards the wrong products. You're actually going towards something that will be more detrimental to your skin in the long term, such as, I don't know why. It's because I haven't ate, y'all. You'll think I know by now not to do videos, without eating, especially since I haven't done a video in a long time over here. But so much going through my mind, I can't think straight. But like I was saying, with us being able to overproduce melanin and with all the lightening products that are marketed to people in the negative sense of bleaching your skin for the aesthetic of looking white, even if you're trying to get something that is legitimately just trying to correct certain hyperpigmented areas, sometimes that'll do you more wrong if you're not properly utilizing those products right, and if you're going towards the wrong products, such as hydroquinone. I do not recommend hydroquinone for black skinned people because once again, it disrupts your acid mantle permanently. It thins out your skin perpetually over time. If you use it in excess of 6 months consecutively, it can become a systemic in the system. It can become carcinogenic, which means it can produce cancer within the body. And as a cancer survivor, I would not ever push products upon you that would put you in that type of detriment situation. Yeah, especially for something that is aesthetic. You don't want something aesthetically as skin discoloration that does not affect you physically to turn into something that will affect you physically, just trying to correct something that is aesthetic. So I always recommend correcting the skin in a more healthier way, something that the body recognizes. And mandelic acid, the molecular molecule structure of this is broken down from bitter almonds. So for y'all that don't know, and here's a warning, and this is why you should always consult with a dermatologist or preferably a licensed esthetician if you're dealing with topical skincare, because sometimes even with a dermatologist, they will overly push certain stuff upon you that don't need to be pushed upon you. Like when it comes to topical skincare, preferably go to an esthetician first. Because once again, if you're dealing with something as simple as melasma, if you're dealing with acne grade 1 to 2, if you're dealing with, light topical scars and stuff like that, that's not to the dermal layer, you do not need to go to a dermatologist to get that corrected. Once again, dermatologist is the dermal of the skin, hence the name. So if you're dealing with something that requires plastic surgery, anything that's outside the center of the face, if you're not dealing with something such as melanoma and all of that, because that's where you really need to go to a doctor for. If you're dealing with, grade 3 or 4 acne that is more so affected by you intrinsically, which means it's on the inside of your body, it's not nothing due to, habits that you're doing, that's when you need to go to a dermatologist. But other than that, esthetician is the way to go for topical. Esthetician, epidermal layer of the skin. So think of it like that. So Mandelic acid, once again, is my #1 recommendation for Black people because of the molecular molecule is so big that it breaks down on our skin over a longer period of time versus other acids. So it makes it less prone to inflammation. And with the less proneness, does means that your body is not as susceptible to triggering melanin in response. So with this, you know, breaking down a lot softer on the skin over time, it takes longer for it to go into the skin. It's not triggering up the melanin. And also, since mandelic acid is a natural tyrosine inhibitor, it's also further reducing it. But you don't have to worry about it permanently shutting off your melanin synthesis. You're not going to end up looking like Michael Jackson. You're not going to end up looking like Little Kim, Don't Stress Them. Put your lighters up, boom, boom, boom. You ain't got to worry about looking light as this darn box, honey. But you will look like a more radiant version of Kelly Rowland. Y'all seen what Kelly Rowland looked like before she started doing chemical peels and after. She's still beautiful, dark skin, rich, melanated. And I like to use her as an example because I know for a fact that she's had chemical peels and stuff done, but she had it done in the right way where she's even her skin tone out, where she don't have to look like 50 shades of chocolate. Nothing wrong with chocolate in all the different colors that it comes in. But with Black people, it feels like we always feel like we have to, stick to that. Like we look at our caramel brothers and sisters, they're able to have one skin tone for the most part. Our white brothers and sisters, our Latinos, our Native Americans, our Asians. But when it comes to dark brown skin people, whether you're African, Black American, Caribbean, anywhere else in the country that happens to be this skin tone and darker, sometimes we feel like we just have to accept being 50 shades of black. Like your neck might be darker and your face lighter, and then your arms is a different shade. Y'all remember back in the day, I used to be like 10 different skin tones of blackness. Now, for the most part, I am uniformly dark and even all over. And that's what mandelic acid can do. It can correct your natural skin tone to get you to your birth skin tone before the sun damage, before the shaving and all of that. Before your thighs got thick and started rubbing together. I suffer from the inner darkening of the thighs as well. And this is good for correcting all of that on a budget. Once again, mandelic acid is good at lightening those areas without triggering my eczema, without overproducing melanin as a response, as opposed to if I was to use a very aggressive acid such as a Jessner's peel, which I do not recommend on black skin. Black skin is much too sensitive for a Jessner's peel. Latinos that are J-Lo at the darkest, I would recommend for a Jessner's. Anybody darker than that, I tend not to go with the Jessner's peel on that, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. Mandelic acid is where it's at. So we done spoke on this long enough. Let's see what this one looks like as opposed to what the other ones look like. And I would give this comparisons to products like what? Mandelic acid. I've used mandelic acids from Sarcadia. I've used mandelic acid from Makeup Artist Choice. I've used mandelic acid from Image Skincare and a couple other brands. So I'll be able to give an accurate comparison of how this holds up against those. But this is what theirs come in. And this is 10%, which is safe to use on the face. Another thing about mandelic acid, even though it has a larger molecule structure than most other acids, you still want to be careful about using this in certain places. This is safe to use in your inner thighs. Make sure it doesn't touch your labia nor your penis area for the males. It can't, make sure not around the eyes and none of that. But it is safe on the face. Now, mandelic acid 25% should be used on the body. Anything over 10% should not be used on the face as far as mandelic acid is concerned. One more thing to reiterate what mandelic acid derives from. Mandelic acid derives from bitter almonds. So if you have an almond allergy or a nut allergy in general, once again, consult with your general practitioner, your dermatologist, and or esthetician before using this product. Once again, you definitely don't want to use it if you have that allergy. So that's why it's always good to consult with your doctors first, because products are named something different when they're reformulated into something else, and you might not know, because once again, if the product doesn't say the origin which it's derived from, and you're just looking at it as mandelic acid, even on the ingredients list, it's not going to say almonds. It's just going to say mandelic acid. And if you do not know where mandelic acid is derived from, and you have an almond allergy, this is going to mess you up. It's the same thing with lactic acid, being derived from darn milk-based products. It's like if you have not lactose intolerant. Now, if you lactose intolerant, it's not going to affect you extrinsically on the skin. So that's the only difference. So I don't want people confusing intolerance with allergy. Those are two different things as well, because I've also had people say, well, if I have a dairy allergy, will lactic acid affect me different? No, because it's on the skin and it goes into the bloodstream in a totally different way versus you digesting it and it going down into your stomach. So no, a lactic acid will not affect nobody negatively that has intolerance as far as your stomach is concerned. But as far as an allergy that can flare your skin up in, surrounding areas, like your throat will clog, will close up on you or something like that, you will break out in hives and all of that, you definitely don't want to use anything that would trigger that. So if you have a nut allergy, be very wary, because even if you do not have a direct allergy to almonds, sometimes products that are made from nuts are within the same factory that other nuts are made from. Like if you have almond butter instead of peanut butter and you're allergic to peanuts but not almonds, you have to be worried that that factory might still have peanuts in that same factory. So it's good to look at warning on your labels just for stuff like that in general. Even if you don't have an allergy to that particular product, make sure it's not within the same factory, and because the nuts can still be on the same table and all of that, and cross contamination, la da da da. But once again, always consult with your doctor, esthetician, dermatologist in regards to the skincare when it comes to stuff like that. General products such as intrinsically, always consult your doctor in regards to allergens. But I'm not going to harp on that. But this is what the mandelic acid comes in. And then the last thing I got is similar to what I showed y'all earlier. It's another hydrator. So earlier I showed y'all the where is it at? Nope, that's not it. Earlier I showed y'all what the hyaluronic acid looked like. This is the container right here. Woo! And almost about to drop it. This one is the marine equivalent of it, made with, sea algae. This is the, and I don't know why I keep focusing this in, like my cheap camera is going to pick up on it. This is the marine hyaluronics. Once again, y'all know how whiteness does on camera. And then it's like I'm recording from this Logitech webcam, so I'm trying my best, y'all. So this one also has a 12-month shelf life. Let me see. Was my hyaluronic acid also 12 months? Okay, so both my hyaluronic acids are 12-month shelf life. So this is the marine hyaluronic, and this is the regular hyaluronic with vitamin B5. So just in the bottle, I can definitely tell that this one is more lightweight. This one is definitely more liquidy than this one. This one feels a lot more solid and gel-like in the bottle. Like I have to shake it real hard just to see it move a little bit, versus this one shakes a lot more easier. So this one is definitely more going to have a more lightweight feel on the skin, which it does advertise that. This one does promises to act similar to regular hyaluronic acid, you know, having the ability to hold up to 1,000 times its weight in moisture on the skin, which is very good for dry, dehydrated skin and, you know, compromised skin such as psoriasis and eczema, whichever, you know, type of eczema that you have. So I would definitely recommend this for anybody who falls within that category. And then, of course, like all the other products, it does have your directions and your ingredients on the bottle as well, and is less than, I think, $10. Once again, I will put that down in the description box. But I know for a fact that every product costs less than $10 but one product. And I want to say that was the marula oil that cost me like about 12 bucks. I'm not sure. I will leave it down in the description box below. But that's it for my first impressions. I know it was quite lengthy because I tackled into several other subjects, you know. But that's how I get. I get on my little tangents and, you know, that's how I go. But that's it in a nutshell. So all of this together cost me $49 in total. And then, you know, if it's over $25, you qualify for free shipping. That's another thing with the ordinary. Anything under 20, I mean over 25, you automatically qualify for free shipping. I don't know how much the shipping cost is as a result if you get just 1 or 2 items. I think it's only like $5 or $6, so still extremely affordable even with the shipping. So you can't go wrong with the ordinary. But this is my first impressions. I love the packaging. I love how they give the descriptions on both the packaging of the products, and then when you take them out, they also give it to you on the bottle as well. They break down the ingredients and details. And for whatever reason, if it fades off of this, they also have it on their website. And it's easier to find. It's also easy to find. You don't have to navigate all over the website trying to find the ingredients like certain darn on products do. You know how when you click on certain products and then you have to go to a whole nother page just to get the full ingredients on everybody's products, like they don't show it on the description of that particular product. With this, whatever product that you click on, they give the descriptions on each individual product that you're looking at along with the ingredients. Another plus for the ordinary. So right now, just first impressions, I'm loving it. I can't wait to jump into my reviews. If you want to know about my thoughts on this over time, definitely feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified. If you have any additional questions, comments, tips, suggestions, leave it in the comments box down below. Once again, apologies for me messing up a name. You know, once again, I'm Southern, and I do have an issue with pronouncing R's, so excuse me if I messed up some of these names. But I did pretty good on all of them except for one. Hyaluronic acid, I know I'm pronouncing that correctly. Marula oil, argan oil, mandelic acid. But this one right here, the Synetical 5%. I know I'm messing up that name. So to my English majors out there, please tell us in the comment section how to phonetically pronounce this. You know, I should have did it before I should have Google searched how to phonetically pronounce this beforehand. That's my fault. For future reference, I will, you know, matter of fact, before I even come back with this review, I would darn gonna type into Google how to phonetically pronounce this product right here. But if y'all want to help a girl before then, y'all tell me down below how to phonetically pronounce this product. Synetical, I want to say maybe the P might be silent, but y'all tell me how to pronounce this. That's it, y'all. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all soon with more videos.